All right. What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Random Encounter Podcast. I'm your host, James, and I'm joined by Big Mike,
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
Phaneckswhy,
How's it going?
and Ash Destroy 'em.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Yeah, no Sensei today. He had some stuff to do, so he won't be joining us today. But we got actually quite a few things to talk to you about today. One of those things is concerning Final Fantasy XIV. There's some pretty big news that came out. They're having I don't remember what it's called, but they're having like their little event going on, and they did a pretty big announcement there. A couple actually big announcements there, as well as we're gonna talk about Pikmin 4 kind of being like a little bit of a sleeper there. Before we get into that, don't forget to like and subscribe to us on YouTube, and also follow us over at Twitch. We do stream typically 3 days out of the week, and every Sunday, of course, we do have the podcast. And on YouTube, we usually have a video out at least once a week. Sometimes we do more. I know these past 2 weeks we haven't done a video, and that's my fault. I've been on vacation, so I haven't had a chance. But this week, for sure, we will have 2 videos up. So definitely keep an eye out for that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start diving into with our first topic, and that is Sea of Stars. So Sea of Stars was already confirmed for Game Pass, and now it's coming to PlayStation Plus. Does everybody here know what Sea of Stars is? No?
What?
Sea of Stars.
Yeah, you've
Oh, Sea of
mentioned it
Stars?
before.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know what Sea of Stars is for real?
No. Ash said no. Ash,
Yeah, no,
you of all
crazy.
people, I thought you would know.
Yeah.
Never heard of that one. Nope.
So Sea of Stars, it's like a it's made by. You ever heard of The Messenger?
I gotta look that one up. I forgot.
Oh, so Messenger is a side-scrolling game. It's like Ninja Gaiden kind of like NES style. But there's a
Oh,
lot
that
of like
game.
twists to it. Yeah.
Look,
So
yeah, I
it's
just
a
saw it. All right.
prequel to that game, but it's made in the vein of like Chrono Trigger. So they took a bunch of inspiration from Chrono Trigger, where in
Yeah,
terms of like the world
looks like
design
it.
and everything looks like Chrono Trigger. Also, the composer Yasunori Mitsuda, he's doing some of the tracks also for it. So it was pretty cool because when they first announced it, they announced it only for Switch and then of course PC, and then Xbox had a re-announcement and they announced it for Game Pass. And just this past week, now they announced it for PlayStation Plus. So both PlayStation Plus users are getting it free as well as Xbox Game Pass users. I think that's pretty cool. I'm still on the side that I'm probably gonna buy it on either Nintendo Switch or PC anyways. But
Yeah, I'm looking at this right now. The game looks really, really good. This is my first time seeing this stuff.
yeah, there's a demo.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's
why
a
don't you
demo
just
on the
get it
Switch.
Game Pass, bro.
What is it?
Why don't you just get it on Game Pass if you're gonna get it on PC?
I kind of because I can't play it on Steam Deck. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
you can.
technically I can by cloud gaming and stuff, or if I do like a Windows partition, but I ain't doing that. So I ain't gonna do all of that. I'll rather
This
do
is
that.
where the
and-
ROG Ally comes in clutch.
I know.
When you said
Trust
Game Pass,
me.
I'm like, I was gonna get the Switch. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna get on my Ally.
Trust me, I've been debating about that. It's like, man, like if I get a ROG Ally, then I could, kind of play all these Game Pass games.
Sabotage Studio.
But
I see.
I don't know. I'm debating on getting on either that or Switch because of the OLED display. I feel like the pixel art and like the vibrant colors will really.
It's not getting a
shine on
physical
there.
release, right?
I don't believe so. I researched that and see. I don't know. Did you guys take a like?
I
It probably
didn't.
will.
I didn't
I
have.
bet it.
I
I
didn't
bet
have
it
time to
will.
look.
It's not right now.
I'm looking at it right now. It looks like it's only digital so far.
Yeah.
Everything's going digital, bro.
they-
Like,
A lot of
Which I don't
Nintendo games
like.
have been doing that, where like it goes digital first, and then like a year later they have a physical release.
Yeah, by
Or, like 6
limited
months later
run.
they have a physical release.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Emulation for preservation. So we have that at least.
No, but there
Yeah,
was a
right.
game that was like that. It was like an indie game that was digital only, and then they got a physical release. Wasn't it?
Stardew Valley
Tunic?
had one. Did Tunic
Or-
have it?
I thought
Yeah,
Tunic was
it was
digital
Tunic.
only, and then it got a physical release.
I didn't know Tunic had a physical release. I knew it was digital
Yeah,
only.
it's like it like it was like a collector's edition one that they had. It was like
Mm.
badass. It came like with all like
Yeah.
the sheets and everything
Well,
from the game. It was cool.
From Mission First is another one. From Mission First remake, they do have a physical edition now. It's like $5 more than the digital, but it comes like with like a steel book and like a art book and a bunch of other stuff. Stardew Valley is another one that was digital only, and they had a limited run physical release as well. So yeah, it's probably like if it's popular enough, which I think it is, they'll probably do a physical version of the game, but. I don't know. We'll see because the Messenger was pretty popular at the time and it didn't get a physical release. So I guess we'll have to wait to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm probably
Is
gonna pick it up
Messenger
on the
on
Switch.
Switch?
It is. Yep. I think
On
it
everything,
first.
I think.
Yeah, I believe it first came to Switch, and then it came to it'll Switch and PC at launch, and then I think it came to PlayStation and Xbox after. I could be
Okay.
wrong on that, but I remember seeing it, and the first time I saw it was on Switch because most people
Hmm.
were talking about it with Switch, and then it came to Game Pass, and now it's on PlayStation Plus as well. But Messenger, highly recommend it. I know you bought it recently, right, Mike?
Yeah, I just bought it on the Steam sale. Like it
Yeah.
was like $4.99. I'm probably gonna give it a playthrough sometime this
Yeah, I
month.
just saw the game for $20. Rest in peace to me. Guess I gotta wait.
Well, the
Yeah,
Messenger.
yeah. Wait for
Oh,
a Steam sale because that thing goes on sale for like $5 all the
yeah, I
time.
think that's what I bought it for. It was $5. It's well worth it though. Like I'm telling you, like I don't want to give it up. I've explained a little bit to Mike and Fan, but there's a twist halfway through the game. It's
Oh,
a
you
really good
spoiled it for me
twist.
already, but I'm still gonna play it.
I did. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like it's pretty awesome. Like when I got to that twist, I was like, oh snap, this is pretty dope. So I highly recommend playing the Messenger. But because of the Messenger being that good, I feel this Sea of Stars is gonna be amazing as well. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I mean the demo Sea of Stars was really good. So
That's true.
Add
There is a
notes to
demo.
add notes to my wish
There's
list.
so many games coming out in August, dude.
Mhm.
Baldur's Gate comes out in a few
Yeah.
days. Like,
Baldur's Gate 3, right? But that's
yeah, I don't
PC
even
only
have
at
time to
launch.
play that. What's up?
It's PC only at launch and PlayStation later on, right?
Yeah, it comes out on consoles August 30th
Yeah.
or something.
Speak like not similar to Baldur's Gate, but this just popped in my head when you said it. So on vacation, right? I went to Universal, and we it was this past Wednesday, and I went to the Harry Potter area, and and being there, it's like, man, now I kind of want to play Hogwarts Legacy because like the
Yeah.
environment there, I was like, this is pretty cool. We went on the I forgot what the ride is. It's like a 4D type of ride. So like it's I guess you're playing Quidditch or something like that, and then you have I forget what they are. Like these ghost things that come at you. They look like Grim Reapers or whatever. I don't know what they're called, but they fly at you and stuff like that. That was pretty dope. But it made me want to get Hogwarts Legacy and play it.
So the game's good, but it's lackluster after like the first 10 hours.
So
Just a
maybe like a
warning.
$20 sale or something.
I
So-
would definitely get it for like a $20.
Hey, the
sale.
Geek Show. Welcome to the podcast.
Yo, yo, yo.
Appreciate you joining
how's it
in.
going?
But yeah, like I'm kind. I mean, I might give it a try. We'll see. I'll definitely wait for that. But yeah, to our next little bit of small news, Pikmin 4 is actually selling pretty good. It's actually right now the best-selling Pikmin game in terms of like launch. It has like really high numbers, and people who really weren't into Pikmin before, I guess this is actually drawing them in because it is, even though it still has like a difficulty curve, it's not too difficult. It's actually pretty easy to get into. Is anybody here like Pikmin fans? Anybody played a
No.
Pikmin game? Because I haven't.
Nope.
I haven't either. Back then when I used to play the heck out of Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube, I
Mhm.
used to watch the heck out of the trailer because I thought the trailer looked cool, but I
Yeah.
never got around to actually buy it. So
I played them all, and I get bored after like a few hours. Honestly, it's just not for me. Like,
I gotcha.
The closest I've gotten to Pikmin is playing Alaman on Smash.
Olimar, yeah. Did you know? Fun fact: I didn't find out Olimar was a play on Mario. So it's literally just Mario, and then they added an L in it, and that's how they got Olimar's name. And then the new dog is named.
oh, I see now.
Yeah, the new dog, his name is Ochi, and it's just a play on Yoshi. So instead of it being Yoshi, it's Ochi, which is what your main character in Pikmin 4 rides on. So I didn't know that, but that's really like all it is. It's just like putting that stuff in there, which is pretty cool. But yeah, yeah, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say like I've been seeing that like it's like good, and everyone's like it's selling really well in Japan. I
Yeah.
don't know how it's doing here, but
Yeah, I don't think the U.S. numbers are out yet, but Europe and in Japan, they're actually the top sellers there, which is kind of funny. And then
That's
they've kind of
crazy.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I would think it sells well in Japan just because, I mean, that's probably where it's popular.
yeah, yeah. I mean that's true. Like I guess so. I just didn't think Pikmin was that big because I believe they've usually only sell like almost like 1 million copies and stuff like that. This one is beyond that. I think it's already at 3 million or something like that. So it's kind of cool
Yeah.
to see it doing well. I like when different franchises get pretty popular because it just means we get other games except besides like Mario, Zelda, and Smash, which are usually the triple threat right there.
I
I
hate
guess
that it got so
Pokemon.
popular because they need to allocate some teams to make a traditional Zelda game again.
The 2D Zelda game. Yeah, I mean, they could
Yeah.
do Grezzo because I think Grezzo just came out with a game, and what is it? It's a flying game that they added to Apple Arcade. So they did come out with that game. So maybe Grezzo could come back and do another 2D Zelda. Like I was hoping for like Oracle games, like just remake the Oracle games,
They
but
just
those just
added
came.
those
I
to the
know.
NSO.
That's
Yeah.
what I was saying. Like I was hoping those would be it, but now they just added it. I was like, yeah, I don't think they'll do that. I mean, who
They
knows?
might. I mean,
I just like I love Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but I just need me like some OG Zelda.
I agree.
Like that would be amazing.
I agree. The Geek Show says the demo might have helped too. Yeah, I agree. Demos work. Like especially the demos where your progress carries over. Those are my favorite.
I think demos help because if you're on the fence about it, like you actually can play it and be like, okay, this is for me or it's not for me.
Yeah.
You know, like because a lot of games I have GameFly for the games that I'm on the fence on. You know, like I don't know if I want to play them or not.
Yeah, I wish I could use
I have a
GameFly.
thought here. So with the Oracle games, right?
Mhm.
Since they're on Nintendo Switch Online, do you think any game that they release on that platform is pretty much saying, "Hey, you have access to it, so we're not going to make a remake anytime soon.
Yes and
So
no.
enjoy it while it's here."
I can see that.
Yeah.
It's Nintendo.
Yeah, I say yes and no. Like
Because you would think Nintendo would have put Super Mario RPG on the Nintendo Switch Online.
that's true.
Wait,
And
do
they
they own
did
the
it.
rights to that though, or
Square
isn't that a
Enix
different
does.
Yeah, it's Square Enix, so I don't know if
Yeah.
they technically can.
Yeah, but they could have worked out a deal. Like I was thinking the same thing. Then
I
rather,
mean,
I
There's a
would.
bunch of Sega games.
So here's my thought with that. Like my thought is like they probably approached Square Enix like, hey, we want to add this to Nintendo Online, and Square Enix was like, no. Instead, let's do a remake and we could sell it for $60 instead. That's
True.
my thought process. Like that's
Yeah.
probably what they did. So I don't think we'll ever get the OG
But
Super Mario RPG.
Aren't the Oracle games? They're not original Nintendo either, were they? Because
Well, yeah, Nintendo still
It's
owns the
Capcom.
rights. But Nintendo owns the rights to the Oracle games. But yeah, Capcom developed them.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. Mario RPG is actually Square Enix owns the right to Mario RPG. It's a weird situation with that because like all that outside of them just using Mario as a character, Square Enix fully developed that. So
Bro, there's the solution. Just get Capcom to make another 2D Zelda game. They've nailed all of them.
That's
'Cause
true.
Didn't they make Minish Cap too?
Yep,
They did
Minish
make
Cap,
Minish Cap,
and then
yeah.
the Oracle games. Yeah, I agree with that. All their 2D Zelda games or portable games are all
and a lot of their
highly
Capcom
rated.
games like are already out
Yeah.
now. So what else do they have to work on?
That's true. They'll make a turn-based RPG Zelda.
I'll give that to
Dude,
Nintendo for free.
I'll buy that.
Like, because that was my idea.
That's true. They're gonna hit
Zelda
you up, Mike.
RPG.
That'll be cool.
As
Zelda
long as I get
RPG.
it, dude.
Could you imagine that? A Zelda RPG? You're gonna have Link, Zelda, and like Sheik or something, or not Sheik, Impa in your party or something like that.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, have Epona.
I
in
might
your
mess with
Dude.
that, like depending on how they sell
They
it.
could do a twist just like they did with Super Mario RPG where you get to play Bowser, and so Ganon is part of your party too.
party. Yeah.
Oh, true.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is true. Yeah. Ganon's actually a good guy in this one.
Well, I mean, just like
That'd be
enemy
fun.
my enemy's my friend.
I don't
so
know how
maybe they
you're
have a
gonna
common
spin
bad
that.
guy.
I don't know how you're gonna spin that around though. Ganon is evil incarnate. Like
Yeah.
you're just
Yeah.
gonna make him good.
I mean, hey, Frieza joined Goku in the Tournament of Power, so and
True.
Frieza wanted
Yeah.
like
I mean, it could just be there's another like power in play, and he just wants to like take him down. So he figured,
yeah.
maybe they'll probably do like a twist. Like Ganon joins your party to help you. You beat the big bad, and then flip. He attacks you because you're weakened.
That'll be too. I think.
The geek
Like
show
I mean, it's
said
too on the
he's
nose,
down
but
for
Yeah.
demos because games are 77, and yeah, exactly. Like
I agree.
nothing. It feels bad when you spend $77 on media and then it ends up being trash.
Yeah.
AKA Cyberpunk was the last game I did that to.
I mean, for me, it's like, even though I enjoy it, I feel bad for spending $70, and I think you guys know what game I'm about to say.
Which one?
Can you guys guess?
Call of Duty.
No.
Uh,
I think I got my $70 worth for Call of Duty, so I'll give him that.
Oh,
So-
Final
so-
Fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 16, man. Like I gotta
Same,
finish it
same.
because I've been told that where I'm at, I just gotta get past to where I'm at, and the story is gonna like ramp up, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of it.
I was debating just watching all the cutscenes
I've been debating on that too.
because I'm like, I'm not really having fun with the gameplay. Like, I'm like, I just want to know the story, kind of.
Yeah. He says, the Geek Show says, yeah, Bowser did join Mario to fight Smithy. Yeah. And I think, yeah, Bowser was he was in Mario RPG as a party member. And was he in one of the Paper Mario games as a party member too? I could be wrong, but I thought he was.
I've only played the first one, and he was still a bad guy.
Yeah, I've only played the first one too. Well, the first one and
I mean, there's like four,
the
isn't
Switch
there?
one, Color no, Color
Oh no,
Splash
you're
was
talking
Wii
about the
U.
Origami King.
Origami King, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've only played those two. But yeah, anyways, back to the original topic. Yeah, Pikmin 4. I agree. I think the demo helped
Oh,
out.
We went on a rant.
Yeah, I know. We got way off of that.
Talking about Pikmin 4. Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
right now it shows what Pikmin only sold 1.6 million.
Mhm,
Pikmin 2 only sold 1.1 million.
mhm.
Pikmin 3 on the Wii U only sold 1.2 million, but Pikmin 3 Deluxe on the Switch sold 2.2 million.
Yeah. And then this is beat that. Pikmin 4 is somewhere, it's around like 3 million. So that's
Yeah.
not
That's
bad.
crazy.
Yeah.
that's definitely not getting canceled.
Nope.
The Geek Show says, yeah, he dropped off when Square didn't produce it. Paper Mario 1, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, I heard is good. I never played it, but I heard that's like the best one.
Yeah, people
And-
praise that like it's like
Anything,
the like the holy of all RPGs. I'm like, holy crap. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
anything after that's trash. though.
That
Yeah.
along with the 3 too, which is that's also funny.
Yeah, because anything after that, they become less like RPGs. They'll have like gimmicks. There's no leveling up, so you're just doing turn-based fights for like no reason, kind of. So it's like, the whole point of doing a turn-based fight is like, yeah, you beat an enemy to level up, and instead, like I was playing Origami King, and there's no leveling up there, so I'm like trying to bypass enemies instead of getting into encounters because I'm like, what? You're just a waste of my time. So outside of
Right.
like the boss fights, which are pretty fun, it's just a waste of time. So. But yeah, moving on to one of our major topics, Final Fantasy XIV. They had their event. It's been a while since I played it, but this new trailer actually got me pretty excited. They are coming out with a new expansion pack called Dawn Trail. So if you remember, I'm not sure if anybody here follows Final Fantasy XIV. Endwalker was the end of the original storyline. So the storyline, they started with Final Fantasy XIV 1.0, so like the original terrible launch. They finished that whole storyline with Endwalker. Now this is going to be a brand new storyline. Still the same like characters, but it's like a new what's the right word? I guess you could say like a new season or like saga or whatever, right? Like I'm trying to think. I'm trying to what word would you use for that?
Like-
I'll probably say new beginnings for it.
It's not a new beginning because it's still it's like
I would say like a new saga.
yeah, like a new
probably,
saga.
like,
Yeah,
I would. That was right. Like because
A new-
it's
just a
pretty
new
much
book. First
it's a
book's done.
continuation with the same characters, but
Correct.
it's a different
Second book.
story.
Correct.
So it's like a new saga. Yeah.
okay, yeah. So it's a new saga. You're going to a whole new like continent. So in and from everything from 1.0 to Endwalker, you're in Eorzea. So you're in that whole land. Now you're going to a totally new continent, to a new world with, just new things to happen. They're adding 3 new job classes. Of course, you're going to explore new characters, new story beats, and stuff like that. Trailer looks really dope. The Warrior Light, who's kind of like supposed to be you, they kind of show him in a different look. It looks like, I'm guessing they're probably going to add a pirate class because he kind of looks like he's dressed up like a pirate almost. So I'm assuming they're going to probably add that there. But one of the biggest news that they announced is that it's finally coming to Xbox after like 11 years. Well, I mean, I guess
13.
yeah, is it 13 years? Because they came out in
2010.
So the 2010 version was the original 14, but that was PC only.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say 13.
It's been out for 13 years. Like
Yeah, it's been available on PlayStation 4 for 10 years. or PlayStation consoles. I'm sorry, for 10 years. 'Cause it came out PS3, then PS4, and then now PS5, and now it's finally coming to the Xbox. What do you guys think about that?
I think they should have done that like a long time ago, especially like after like the whole Endwalker thing, like the revamp. You know what I mean? Like I feel like if they would have dropped everything right there, it would have attracted a lot of players.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That
Xbox One era.
Because I don't know, like I feel like dropping it this late in the game is going to be hard to get into. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because I feel like that would have been a proper entry point for someone to like jump in the game. Like, oh, this saga's over, the new one's beginning. You know what I mean? Like, boom,
Yeah.
drop it on Xbox.
Yeah.
Now it's like getting to Destiny.
Yeah, I agree with you. I have the trailer playing, so anybody who hasn't watched it can see it there. But I agree with that because, like you said, Xbox players now they jump in. Well, guess what? You're like 10 years behind everybody else. 13 years if you want to be more exact with like PC players who got it, first dibs on there. But nonetheless, I still think it's kind of cool that they're finally getting it. Now, technically, you can play it on almost every platform. It's available on Xbox. It's available on PlayStation. It's available on
I
PC.
wonder if
And
it
it's
runs
available
on
on
an
Mac.
Ally, the Rock Ally.
It should. I think I watched somebody's video. They said it does. I
If
think
it
it was.
runs on the Rock Ally, I might hop on it
I'll
like
have
on
to
my
try
free.
it.
It
I
runs
tried
on
running
Steam
it on the
Deck.
Steam Deck and it did not work. So
Did you do the Steam version or?
Yeah.
Really? Because
yeah,
somebody had a video saying that it does work on Steam Deck. They were playing
I
it.
couldn't get it to work. Like the whole keyboard situation, like typing in passwords and like it was just like not lining up.
Oh, okay. Huh.
I wonder how
Interesting.
the bindings would work on an Ally because it doesn't have as many buttons on the back.
It should work
Or
fine
the
because it
trackpad.
has native controller support for the game.
Oh, true. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, because it's on. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because on PlayStation.
I
Yeah.
was like comparing it to WoW because I was like, how are you gonna play that on like a handheld? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, because I played it all like with controller. Even on PC, I played it with controller. Even though it's better with keyboard because you have more keys, so technically you can kind of switch through like your move sets easier. Where
Right.
controller, you have what is it, 4 and 4? So you have 4 commands on your face buttons and 4 commands on your D-pad. And then if you press, I think it's either L2 or R2, it'll swap to your next 4 commands. So you like if you hold R2 and then press X, it's a different command versus if you're not holding R2 and you press X.
Oh,
Yeah.
sounds like
That's a
something they
pretty
should have
good
done with Tears
setup.
of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
No, I'm
With,
saying
like,
sounds like something they should have done
should
with
have
Tears
done.
of the
Oh,
Kingdom.
I thought you said that's
Yeah,
what they
true.
did. I was like, huh? Like,
I was about to be so mad, like, because I'm like, wait, like,
me too. Because I heard, I was like,
Yeah,
they did that. I was like, what? Like,
I'm like, no,
I-
they should have done that. Like the whole freaking champions or whatever. Like they should have just did it like that.
Yeah, I agree. Like that champions sometimes like they get in the way. That's my biggest thing with the champions. They get in the way too much. So, but they're cool nonetheless. But yeah, what Ash? Have you ever played Final Fantasy 14?
Yeah, of course.
You did? Okay, where did
Yeah,
you
I
leave off
went-
at?
I'm like halfway done with Endwalker actually. I have some like friends I play with from time to time whenever they get
Okay.
off work, so that way we can progress through the dungeons. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff to go through, but it's still fun to deep into go into the lore and everything. So it's fun.
Yeah. No, I like the story is pretty cool. Like I've liked the story, the music, of course. You got Soken, amazing soundtrack. All like I forget what the summons are called in this game. I think they're called primals. All the primals, I like their music, like their theme songs when you fight. All that's pretty cool. Yeah, everything about it is cool. The world's pretty cool. The job classes, the designs of the characters, just everything. The little Easter eggs, like you have a Nier Automata raid, so like you have like 2B in your party and stuff like that. That's pretty dope. There's one that's actually I believe the Nier Automata is funny because that one's actually canon. What's his name?
It makes sense, yeah.
What's his name? The creator of Nier.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I
Yeah.
forgot his name too.
Shoot, what is his name now? I hate when that happens.
Yeah, same.
Anyways, he said that it is canon, so you play through that storyline to kind of understand everything, and then there's a Final Fantasy Tactics storyline too, that I believe they said that's also canon, it takes place years after Final Fantasy Tactics, which is funny. You're helping out Ramza's like distant relative, and later on, like Ramza appears, and like I forgot what his best friend was. It starts with a D. I think it's like the well, anyways, it's a cool continuation, and to see like all the other characters from Final Fantasy Tactics. They have like the music from Final Fantasy Tactics in it as well. So like the music they play in the raids are that a lot of cool stuff that's happening in the game. So I'm kind of happy that Xbox players get to play it now.
I might
Technically,
hop in if I have time.
yeah. I mean, we talked about it. It would be a nice group stream. We would all
Yeah.
have to like, well, I'm far into, I'm in Heaven's Word, so but like we can all just catch up from there and kind of like run through that together. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Is it crossplay?
Mhm.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
So PlayStation, PC, Mac, and Xbox players play with each other, which it makes sense. It's an MMO. You should have a crossplay, in my
Right.
opinion.
If it wasn't, like, you have a Remnant situation, which is stupid.
Remnant's not crossplay?
Oh,
I didn't know that. I thought it was. Oh wow,
it's
that's
stupid. I'm sure it's probably gonna get patched in, but I don't know in this day and age why you would release like a game that's not. Because I have a buddy who plays PS5 who wanted to play Remnant with me,
and you
and
can't.
like, yeah, like I looked it up.
Man, you would think, this day and age, everything would be crossplay nowadays.
It should be. It needs to be. Like, why wouldn't you make a game crossplay? Like,
Yeah, it makes no sense to me. But yeah, that's Final Fantasy XIV. Pretty cool. Next bit of news is Sakurai. So did everybody know that Sakurai has a YouTube channel? If you know who Sakurai, if you don't know who Sakurai is, he's the creator of Smash.
I love it.
Yeah. Did you know about that, Mike? I know you don't like fighting games, so you probably don't care.
yeah, no idea. I don't even know who that is.
He's the creator of Smash, and he's worked on Kirby, and I think, is he the creator of Kirby? No, that was isn't that Iwata?
I'm pretty sure it was Iwata, but
Yeah,
like
he was the developer.
Sakurai's development team, which is Sora, helped develop all the Kirby games and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's him.
Yeah, because I know he has a big like love for Kirby, which is why like all the cutscenes in there always make Kirby look like he's OP compared to everybody else.
Right.
So
he technically is. Like,
yeah,
he has the most OP power.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Anybody.
That's true. He just eats you up, and
in
then
your fighting game, there's always one copy character.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Yeah, they always had that. But so he has a YouTube channel, and in his YouTube channel, I think you might like it, Mike, even though it's so he talks a lot about Smash, but he talks about just video game development in general, which I thought was pretty awesome. Like, I was just watching one of his videos that he put out a while back, and it's about what he took into consideration for the music in Smash Brothers. And he talked about how he handpicked the songs from every video game that a character is like, placed in there. And he had to make sure that the song has certain things. So he's like, if you do a time match, the default setting is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So the song has to be a loop of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And not every song that's there has a 2 minute and 30 second runtime. So what he decided is, if a song is not 2 minutes and 30 seconds long, then you need to figure out a way to add in another song from that game, so you get a mix, but it has to sound natural. So he uses like the Spirit Tracks level as an example, and he's like, after a minute, I think it's like after a minute the song finishes, and he's like, in the intro, so every song has to have a good intro, because in the beginning of Smash, when you start a match, it says 3, 2, 1, go. So the intro should be playing while it's timing itself. And that's like he said, like 5 seconds should be the intro. And then from there, the main song has to start right after it says go. So if the song did not start like the full on, I guess like the main riff didn't start after it says go, then that song was eliminated from the list. But it's kind of cool like what he did, and then from there he chose composers that he felt could do justice to the song to remix the music. So he has a lot of tidbits for that. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about is what he said about Smash. He was talking about Smash Brothers Brawl. And from there, he was done with Smash. He's like, yeah, I'm done. He left Nintendo. He's going freelance. And he's not going to work on Smash Brothers anymore. But when the Wii was announced, they announced they were also working on a new Smash Brothers title. and he was in the crowd, and he was like, "Oh, uh, that's cool, I guess. Like, I didn't know about this." And then people started going up to him, like, "Oh, you're working on the new Smash title. That's awesome." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I guess." And he's like, "I'm not working on anything." So in his head, he's like, "I'm not working on anything." He's like, a few hours later, Iwata pulls him to a room. He's like, "Hey, I need you to work on the new Smash title." He's like, He's like, "What happens if I say no?" He's like, "Well, then we're just gonna go ahead and have to just put what we did in Melee and just port it over to the Wii." And in his head, he's like, "Well, that's not a brand new game." So he was like, "Okay." He's like, "Fine, I'll work on it, but." He's like, I don't work for Nintendo." He's like, "That's fine, but you're the main guy. Everybody we get is gonna work for you, and they're gonna listen to you." And he said once he got the team up, he's like, "All right, he's in charge. Whatever he says, you have to do." And that's kind of how he got into Brawl. And then he was asked like, "What do you think about Smash Brothers going forward?" Because he said that he's done with Smash. And he's like, "Honestly speaking, I don't think there's anybody else that can do Smash Brothers but me." He's like, Iwata put that, and he even said it, that there's nobody else in the world that can design a new Smash Brothers but you. You take a lot of care of each character. You make sure that you put the elements of those games into this game. And he's like, "I guess if a new Smash Brothers comes out, which I think there will be, I'll have to be in charge again." And then he leaves like the he ends the video like that. So it sounds like he's almost hinting at maybe they're kind of in a planning phase. What do you guys think? Does it sound like he's hinting at a planning phase of a new Smash, or you think it's just he's just saying it just to say it?
I'm pretty sure what he's saying is that like if they're ever gonna do a new Smash Brothers game, which honestly they're gonna probably do a new Smash Brothers game whenever like the new console comes out, like the Switch 2 or Switch Pro or something like that. They're probably gonna either do like maybe like an ultimate version of Smash Bros. Ultimate, but include all the Fighter Pass characters, or do like a completely new installment. And for now, Sakurai doesn't know yet. So just like how well, last time he said Melee will be his last Smash, when he saw the new thing, he didn't know about this stuff. He was like, "What the heck? What's going on?"
Yeah.
And Iwata's like, "Hey, you're in charge now." I'm like, "What?" so I'm pretty sure that like the Nintendo is going to like get a new Smash out, and they're going to try to ask Sakurai again if he's willing to do it again, if anything. And from what it looks like, he's more than likely probably going to say yes. So
I'm sure that game makes way too much money for them not to make another one.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they would do, because Ultimate is pretty like
It's pretty stacked
big.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, with the new console, maybe they'll just make it run even smoother. You know,
how smooth can you go? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already
There
60.
there are some glitches and hiccups when there's so many things going on the screen. You know,
I mean, I don't really see it for it to get like a patch update for like the new console, because I feel like the game like really runs constant 60 FPS throughout like the entire time, right?
Yeah.
So if anything, what they could possibly add is probably a bit more story content to the game, but that's really about it for me. So
Yeah. I mean, I guess my thoughts on it is I do agree with the story, because Brawl had the Subspace Emissary, which is really fun. It's like a storyline that you go through. Even though I guess you had is it called the World of, no, not the World of Light. I forget what it's called, but the something of light in Ultimate, which is like a story mode. It's not the same.
yeah, it's not really the same at all. I mean, I wish they could have done more with it, but it is what it is at that point. And like Sakurai did say that he was like really mad at how the whole Surface Emissary story got leaked beforehand, so he didn't really want to do something like that ever again. He could have changed his mind about that, so who knows?
Yeah.
Like he changed his mind like a whole lot of things in the past too, so it just depends.
Yeah, I mean honestly, as of right now, I think I'm good with the game, but there's certain things missing still. For this to be called Ultimate, I think it's not Ultimate. And one of the biggest things is it doesn't have all the levels. Like you can go through it. There's no poke floats, right? That's one level that's not there. There's a few other I can't remember, but I want to say there's almost like 6 or 7 levels that they didn't add for whatever reason.
From like old games?
Yeah, from old games. So, which is kind of interesting because they have every character, but they don't have every level from like the other Smash Bros. Games.
That's weird.
But there's other game modes like they don't have. If I remember correctly, there's no All Star mode.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right.
So All Star mode was basically you go in timeline and you fight the characters from the time they were introduced, right? So you would fight like, let's say like Pac-Man, and then like Mario, and then whoever, right? All the way up to the latest games that were released. And they don't have that mode at all in Ultimate. So, I feel like this is, I don't know, it's not Ultimate for me in my opinion, because it's missing a lot of features that other Smash Bros games have. Therefore, like, to me, Ultimate means like this is the best, right? This is your ultimate game. But for you to be Ultimate, you should have what the previous games had and then some. But even though you have some, you don't have what the previous games have. So that's my opinion on that. But I do feel that he is, I think he's hinting at another Smash, because we know there's going to be another Smash. Like you guys said, it makes too much money for them not to do another one on the next Nintendo console. I think it would be dumb just to not, make a new Smash Brothers. Not only that, like, a world without a new Smash Brothers is not a good world, but it'll be kind of cool.
If they didn't release another one, I don't think it would affect me in any way. I wouldn't even notice.
But what if they? Hey, what's up, Joe? Welcome to the podcast. What if they add Master Chief? Yeah.
That's not gonna change my mind.
They add Master Chief, but when you play as Master Chief, it's a first-person shooter.
All right, you got me. Let's get it.
Technically, you can already play as Master Chief. There's a game out there, Brawlhalla.
Oh, he is in Brawlhalla.
Oh, he's in Brawlhalla.
That game, Brawlhalla. Oh my god, Jesus!
I do wonder.
Is he really in there?
Yeah, he is. They added him in Arbiter.
Yeah,
they added him in Arbiter, and it. When I saw that, I was like, why is he in there but not in Smash Bros? I kind of wonder why they didn't.
I would have been stoked if Master Chief got into Smash. I'll be ecstatic about it. I'm not a big fan of Halo, but that'd be cool to see. That'd be great.
Maybe Sakurai knew what was gonna happen with Halo Infinite, and he's like, no. He's like, I don't want this to taint my game.
Bro, Halo's dead to me, dude.
Yeah.
Halo who?
For Halo, man. Even though I did like Infinite's story, honestly. They went a little bit more Metroid Prime-ish with the story, so I did like that.
I liked it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just not going to continue it because it did so poorly. So you leave. This is the second game that you leave on a cliffhanger. You know what I mean? Just to spiritually reboot it, dude. Like, oh my god.
I was gonna say that. Whatever happened? So, because the end of Halo 5. He gets sucked into something, right? Do they explain why he's back, or no? They just like ignored that whole part altogether.
It's been like 2 years since I played it. I think they just ignored it.
Yeah, because that's what I thought. Because
I don't think they go into it, bro. Like, I literally just think it's like, oh, they're here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, here's a new enemy.
Because I know the beginning of Halo Infinite, I found out is taking place around the end of Halo Wars 2.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think Halo Wars 2 explains anything, because he gets sucked in there and that's it. You don't even know what happens to Locke or any of them.
So they suck him in there, and then you have that one male protagonist, dude. Not protagonist, like a teammate guy, the Spanish dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
the pilot or whatever.
I don't think he was in 5. Like, I'm almost it's been like 10 years since I played 5, but like I'm almost 100% sure he's not in 5.
No, he's not for sure. Because he had his own squad.
So it was like you just on this Pelican with this dude, and you just go to this ring, and it's like, all right, cool. But
yeah, I feel like I don't know, like, off topic, but like, who is Xbox mascot right now? Like, do they have a mascot?
Definitely not Master Chief anymore, bro. Even though he is on the back of the Xbox Series Xbox.
Yeah.
Xbox Series Xbox.
Yeah.
I feel like he still is in a way, because like, who else can replace him as a new mascot?
Nobody, but he hasn't had a good game in longer than like the series has been good, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, the series was good for a short amount of time, then he's had a good game. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because you got to think of the games he's in. Only the first 3 were really good, because ODST was good too. But
and then if you want to include Reach, you know what I mean, and he's technically not in Reach. I'm talking about like the Bungie era of Halo. You know what I mean, like. But that was over in what, like 2011? It's 2023, and if 4 was okay, 5 was like worse. The multiplayer on 4 was okay. The story was pretty good on 4. 5 was just trash story wise, but the multiplayer was decent. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I agree with that. I guess the Xbox doesn't have Phil Spencer. He's the mascot. They just have to
right?
put like a
Game Pass.
yeah,
Game Pass
is the mascot. Yeah. Just
You know, but honestly, who would be the mascot of PlayStation right now? Because honestly, I
yeah,
wouldn't know who to pin as the mascot of PlayStation.
that's true. I
Oh,
agree.
That is true. Yeah. Holy crap! I
Yeah.
didn't think about that part.
You know,
I will-
because like Nintendo's always going to be like Mario. No matter
Yeah.
what happens, it's always 100% like Mario.
That's their
But
guy.
Well, I mean,
I
Nintendo
would-
could
I would
swap out
use-
mascots, and everybody's like, oh, you know, because like you got this guy here, right? Like
Yeah.
this guy can be your mascot. You know,
true.
I mean, this could be Xbox's mascot if they make a new game, but you know, they probably won't.
Big if. I feel
Mm,
like that's a hard sell because I feel like Xbox they try to aim it more towards like adults.
Adults, yeah.
You
exactly.
know, like,
Yeah. I love Banjo, but Mask of Xbox, I don't think so.
Yeah. What's up,
maybe
Shu?
it's-
Welcome to the podcast.
yo,
Maybe who you said?
Starfield.
Uh,
Just Starfield, not
Bethesda?
a character. Just like Bethesda's the Xbox mascot.
I mean, that's if Starfield's a hit. Like,
Bro,
Oh,
it's
man.
almost it's like a month away, dude. Like
We'll
we're
find
about
out.
to find out.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, going back to your PlayStation thing, like I try to think. I mean, it almost feels like they're trying to push like Alloy as a mascot because Alloy is in a
she
lot
is
of
in a lot of
places.
stuff.
Yeah, because she's even in
Yeah.
Genshin Impact. Like she's in
Yeah.
Genshin Impact.
Which that's such a a weird mascot for Sony. Like it's because like the games are good,
Yeah.
but they're not great. You know what I mean? Like I
Ooh.
don't know.
The perfect mascot for Sony, if they want to make it so that even like kids could like it, is Astrobot.
I was gonna say Astro from Astro's Playroom. I
Yeah.
think that would be good.
True.
If they decide to push his likeness a bit more
They
to
should
the
just bring
audience,
back
if anything.
Spiral.
Well, Activision
mean,
owns
they-
them, so
I mean,
Xbox
I
now
mean, they
owns them.
tried.
Well,
Oh
I
yeah,
guess they
that's
haven't
right.
got-
really?
Jeez.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Activision
Wow.
owns
That's
Spiral
crazy.
and
forgot-
Crash, which were
That's
PlayStation.
crazy, dude.
I actually forgot about that. Wow.
And then Sony owns Bungie.
Yeah,
Who
which
owns,
was Master
made
Chief.
Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ubisoft owns freaking Crash Bandicoot, right?
No, Activision owns
Or-
Crash
Oh,
Bandicoot.
Activision also owns it
Yeah.
too, man. God dang.
Oh, what happened, Mike? You're going in the
I
world
don't
of
know.
darkness?
Maybe Sly
Did I-
Cooper.
Did I
Or,
have?
I
This
guess
on a
Ratchet and
timer?
Clank would be the only one that could be Sony's
That's true.
Like,
Ratchet and Clank too.
kid mascot.
That's true.
No,
Ratchet and Clank would probably be the best choice.
yeah.
I still think Astrobot would be the best because
mean,
Ratchet and Clank. I'll say
Link
Ratchet
is
and Clank.
basically Astrobot.
Link, yeah, I guess. Astrobot's so
Yeah.
cool. Like playing that, even though it's free on PS5, like playing it reminded me of like the old style platformers on PS1.
Because
I
PS3
enjoyed it
the
a lot.
mascot was Sackboy.
Yeah, it was Sackboy for PS3.
Yeah, if they were to push those games like a bit further, like make sequels or even make DLC for them, I
Mhm.
feel like people would take more of a liking to them. But right now, there's barely anything done for those games. Right
I mean,
now.
Sackboy's Big Adventure is actually pretty fun. I own it. I liked it a lot. It's very Mario 3D World inspired. So, yeah. But speaking of PlayStation, while we're at it, let's talk about Ratchet and Clank in the Digital Foundry review. Did you guys see that video?
Yep,
I heard-
I saw both.
Oh, is that? Are you talking about like the HDD thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or like
Okay.
how they
Yeah.
tested it wouldn't run on a PS4.
Yeah.
So, I read that whole thing's wrong. That it will run, but it just wouldn't run as well as a SSD because it was designed for a SSD.
That's correct.
Yeah. So I heard like that was just like them saying it won't run on an HDD is just full of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Because even what's his name, the Tom Henderson or whatever on Twitter
Yeah.
said that like it'll run on a HDD, but it was designed around a SSD, so the load time it would be like kind of weird.
So,
I mean,
well,
it would
I'll
basically
let you guys
just like
go.
make the gaming experience not what they intended.
Mhm.
Right. They're just going to be loading screens
Yeah.
in places where there shouldn't be loading screens, pretty much.
The overall lie is that they were saying that this game can only be playable on the PS5 mainly because of the AMD SSD, but that was wrong because you can still play on a hard drive, which is not really the best way to play it, but it's still playable. Which that's the lie that they were.
I don't know if I would
trying to
consider
spew
that a
out earlier.
lie. Maybe it was more like how they intended the game to be played, right?
That is true, yeah.
Right? They're not lying saying it can't be done. They're just like, this is the intention of this game, and you're not going to get the best experience on a PS4 with it.
Which
So
I mean, they definitely
made it for the PS5.
The run throughs and demos they did for the hard drive is definitely interesting. If you were to run this with like an average good gaming PC with a hard drive, you won't have no loading times will be slower, but it's not going to be like terrible or cringy or something like that. But if you were to run this like a low end gaming PC with a hard drive, then you're going to see a lot of
because
terrible stuff. So
from what I read, you would if you were doing HDD, it'd have to be like at least a 70 to 100 RPM like HDD for it to run.
Yeah, and
like playably.
And don't forget, I believe one of the tests too is like for it to be like playable too is he had 64 gigs of RAM on one of the units, and because what happens is most of what was happening next was stored in the RAM, so having that much RAM helped out. Which like a PlayStation 4 doesn't have 64 gigs of RAM, so I guess technically they didn't lie because of the PS5's like NVMe drive. It's able to load in and out quick, but technically it is a lie because if you just throw in more RAM, you can play with an HDD, which I feel like nowadays everybody has an SSD.
You can't throw in more RAM on a PS4.
No, you can't. Yeah. So yeah, it won't run on a PS4.
There is no lie. You can't throw in more RAM on a PS4.
You can just download RAM. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'll send you a website.
Yeah, exactly. If anybody wants to download RAM, just let me know. But yeah, it's interesting to see because when I see that, it's like I think hard drives just need to stop. Like stop with the hard drives. SSDs and NVMe's are becoming way cheaper. So it's like just start optimizing your games for SSDs. And if you don't have a SSD, then it's kind of like, hey man, you gotta upgrade at some point, because I feel that that's really what's slowing things down. Everything if they keep catering to like the lowest common denominator, it's slowing down game development. Because if all these games would just look at developing for SSDs or NVMe's or anything like that, I'll say SSDs and higher, I feel that more things could be added because they could utilize how fast things could pop in and out from your SSD to the actual game and then back and forth.
I'm fine with that too, but I mean, don't make the games 100 gigs.
I mean, I think they're slowly phasing out the last generation of consoles and stuff. I've been seeing like when the new games come out, they have the things of the
they should be
below the thing with PS5, Xbox Series X, and then Steam, and that's it, right? Yeah. So it's slowly happening. It's just it just depends.
Too slow though. Like
I think it is hindering of moving games forward and how long they're focusing on the old generation for sure.
Yeah, because I get the way like Ratchet and Clank works because of how fast like it's loading up stuff back and forth. That's why utilizing that, right? You have like if you have 64 gigs of RAM, like I said, it makes it easier because all that stuff loads to the RAM and it stays on the RAM. So that whenever it needs to use it, it can go back and forth. You'll still have some loading because it's not as fast to go from the RAM to to render from the GPU and the RAM, since it's not like unified memory or anything like that. But it you can notice a difference there versus if you had an NVMe drive and everything, it just pulls whatever it needs when it needs it from the NVMe drive back and forth. So, but I mean, everybody having all like, I feel like having the latest technology helps out. All that stuff just needs to phase. I guess the only thing is the Switch, because the Switch is still using micro SD cards,
which I feel bad for.
And in onboard storage, I don't know if it's the same on the OLED, but I know on the normal Switch it's an eMMC.
Yeah, it is. It's still eMMC. Yeah,
on the OLED as well. Yeah, which is very slow, like read and write speed. So like that's also.
So what do you? I wonder if the new Switch is going to be pure digital. Because that would probably, because if they're gonna make another Switch, like
everyone keeps hinting at are like possible, like that it's gonna be backwards compatible. So
that's true.
I would be super happy about that.
Well, I mean, they could say backwards compatible, but then be like only with your digital games.
True.
So
because I feel like they probably lose like a decent amount of money on those SD cards that they put them on.
Yeah.
So
But I don't think they lose that much money, to be honest. They probably make more money off of that from like publishing the games on those carts because they take a cut.
Well, that's
from
true.
the
Yeah, because
developers.
since they develop the
Yeah.
cartridges, then yeah, they take a
Yeah.
cut off of everything they sell.
Yeah.
Kind
So
of
they
like
actually that's
yeah,
why so many games are actually coming digital only first.
because they don't have to
Because
pay Sony
they don't have to pay
or I mean
Nintendo
Nintendo. Yeah.
the freaking tax on the carts.
Mm-hmm. And that's also
Honestly,
why some games they go cheap and they're like, oh yeah, here's an 8 gig cart and you gotta download the rest from the eShop and stuff like that, so they don't have to pay.
honestly, I have a hot take.
Hmm.
Why not this Nintendo just have this partner with Apple, and Apple will just provide them the chip, the M2 chip.
Not gonna
Why not?
happen.
I know.
That would
but
be nice because like
think about the possibilities.
because it's running ARM. That would be nice, right? Like yeah,
Yeah,
I agree
yeah.
with you on that. You know that would be cool, but yeah.
Now the thing is, the difference is Nvidia will have to leave now, but it doesn't matter because all he needs is M2. So like,
You said what? Nvidia would have to what?
Nvidia can't work with Nintendo anymore because I'm pretty sure Nvidia and Apple don't really like each other. But
Mhm.
like, it wouldn't even matter because the M2 will just replace the Tegra X2 chip or whatever they have in there. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I
think
mean,
it'd be
I
awesome.
honestly think with the way everything is going nowadays, it's everything. They don't even care about raw power no more. It's all about how good you can make DLSS and FSR. Like I mean, just look at the current state of the GPUs now. They're heavily relying on
Yeah.
DLSS.
And frame skip and all that stuff.
Yep. It's no longer raw power. It's like, hey, we're gonna trick you into thinking that you have this raw power, but it's not. Like,
Not frame skip, frame generation, whatever
yeah.
it is.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's DLSS3. That's frame generation.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm not a fan of that stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I'm old. Maybe I just think raw power is still the better option, but I don't know.
well,
I
it's just
still use raw power
depends.
most of the time. So it's just yeah.
What was that, Mike?
It's good. It's good if your card is aging.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but just to be a main selling
Mhm.
point instead of raw power, like it's like, nah, bro,
Yeah.
just use DLSS on my current card then. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly. No, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Like it FSR, like some games are using FSR on Nintendo Switch. It makes sense, right? If you can't pull out that power, then utilize FSR. Or like the Steam Deck, for example. On Resident Evil 4, I use FSR because it helps out with the game. So I can still get a pretty good experience without having to like, I'm gonna say like kill my battery life or anything like that. So
Right.
that
I wonder how
those
much FSR is used in Tears of the Kingdom.
probably
Probably
a
a lot.
lot. Well, I heard it's not FSR. I heard it's like Nintendo's in-house upscaling. It's used though because you can see it. Like if you look at your screen and then slowly like pan, you can see it. It gets very blurry and then it fixes itself. But it's pretty quick at how it fixes itself, which is interesting because while you're playing, you technically don't notice unless you're really trying to look for it. So they did a good job with that. But it's I think it's their in-house technique because it's the same technique that Monolith Soft used for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 because it has the same upscaling technique, which is why Xenoblade Chronicles 3 looks a lot better than Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which looks pretty bad on in portable mode. It's like super
Oh, yeah.
pixelated.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it
So-
for today's pod. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
So, no, quick question,
Yeah.
bro. So I was bored the other night and I was going to sleep and I had just finished watching Silo on Apple TV,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is a great show if anyone like hasn't watched that yet.
I've
So I
only
was
watched the
looking
first
for
3
stuff-
episodes. Yeah.
Oh, you watching it? Yeah, it's
I
great.
watched. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to let you know, it's on a hold indefinitely because of the writer's strike, so they don't know if there's going to be a season
Season
2,
two?
and the ending's a cliffhanger. Like,
I hate that,
Just to let
man.
you know, I just found that out like 2 days ago, and I'm pissed because the ending is like such a big like cliffhanger. Like,
Yeah.
but
Dang,
so
I
I'm
have to watch
looking,
that.
and I decided to give that Twisted Metal show
I,
a watch.
I'm watching
And
it too.
I can honestly say, bro, it is probably like the best video game adaptation show I've seen. Like, I'm actually like having a really fun time with it, like because it doesn't take itself seriously.
Yeah.
It's kind of like stupid, but it's stupid with the right action sequences.
So it leans
like,
into the Twisted Metal like Ish of it.
Yeah. So like the whole scene, like because like remember we talked about it on the podcast. The whole scene with Sweet Tooth,
Yeah.
singing Cisco. So it makes more sense when you watch the show. Like what happens, you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
so that scene, like so it makes like way more sense when you watch like the full clip because they pretty much just make Sweet Tooth like a crazy dude. You know what I mean? Like so.
Yeah.
But if no one's watched it, I recommend at least checking it out because it's actually like it's pretty good. Like
it's funny you mentioned that because I actually started watching it too, and
Yeah.
I started watching the first episode. I'm not done with it because I was watching it right before the podcast, and yeah, it definitely doesn't take itself seriously. It seemed interesting. It's not too bad. I already noticed like some of the characters from the game. I'm not sure if like all the characters are there, but like I assume the cop guy they show. I'm not sure if they name him later on, but I assume that Spectre, who was Spectre in the
Yeah.
game.
It has to be. Like it
Yeah,
wouldn't make any other sense.
exactly. There's a girl who's driving like the purple, like it looks like a funeral car type of deal. I forgot
Yeah.
what you call those. I forgot her name, but she was also in the game. And I kind of yeah. Go ahead.
I think they're good. I think they're gonna add like characters. Because what episode are you on?
I'm only on the first episode. I haven't even finished it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on like episode like 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Like,
Okay.
So I haven't finished it, but I'm like I was surprised. I just wanted to say it like because I was like surprised at like how decent like the show. It's not like the best thing I ever seen, but if you just want something fun to watch, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's pretty good.
It's got pretty decent reviews. I think they're giving it like a 7.5, which is not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, better than
Especially
what The Witcher
for
got.
being like a video game. Yeah.
It's better than what The Witcher got. Like apparently they're
Oh man, dude! So I was on Rotten Tomatoes earlier. The
Mhm.
audience score on season 3 is 22%,
Mm.
and like from what I've read, they did Henry Cavill so dirty, like
Yeah.
on like how they exited him out of The Witcher.
Yeah. He's barely from what I haven't watched it. Like I watched the first episode and I thought it was boring already. I was like, wow, like the first season was great, the second one was meh, and this one's just like it didn't start off great. I didn't care. But from what I've read, yeah, the last 3 episodes, he's almost like non-existent in those episodes. Like he's bedridden,
Yep.
so he doesn't do anything until like the final scenes. And then like they didn't give him a proper farewell or anything like that. They didn't give anything to tie in to what's his name that's taking over? Is it Liam Hemsworth, right? That's taking over.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything to show like why they're changing characters or anything like that. So
And that it's crazy because they said they were gonna write him out
Mhm.
in a good way, and they didn't even give him that, dude.
Nope.
And you know what I found out? The writer of the show
Mhm.
is the wife of like a big wig executive dude who won like a bunch of Emmys for like Shameless and like a few other shows I can't remember. But that's how she got that job. And I'm like, so it makes sense because nepotism in Hollywood is, pretty much like
yeah.
like that's like the definition of nepotism. It's like Hollywood, it's all about like who you know. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah. But speaking of, while we're on the topic of video games adaptions, did you know there's a Fallout video or TV show coming out?
Yep, Amazon.
Yeah, I did not know that.
I forgot about that.
They just leaked pictures of the set. It looks pretty legit.
I feel
if you look it up, there's like they release like 4 or 5 pictures. It's like a leak, and it's like shows like the outside set. It looks pretty promising, but again, I'm not getting my hopes up.
Yeah. So of the TV shows that we know that are in the works or that are available, right? So let's say what's available right now. We have Last of Us. We have Twisted Metal. Then you have Fallout coming out. You have there's also The Witcher that came out. There's the Castlevania one, which Castlevania Nocturne looks really good. But I guess that's animated, so maybe it's not the same. There's a Knuckles TV series coming out that's going to lead into the Sonic 3 movie. There is a Horizon Zero Dawn TV series coming out. There's a God of War TV series coming out. What else? I feel like there's another one I'm missing. Oh, there's Halo, I guess.
Yeah. And then Henry Cavill's new project, Warhammer.
There's what?
Warhammer, Halo.
They have a TV show? Wow.
I thought you were the biggest. I thought it was like your favorite TV show ever. Like,
when's that coming out? I haven't heard of a Halo TV show. It's crazy.
What else? I think there's a Gears of War. Isn't there a Gears of War TV show or is there a movie coming out?
There's something with Gears of War, but they
Yeah.
haven't said anything about it in forever.
Yeah, they
Like,
haven't.
but I think there's like a lot of stuff in the works. But like with this writers and actors strike going
Yeah,
on, dude,
everything's on hold.
everything's on. Bro, like this time next year is gonna be so dry, like with content.
Yeah,
Just pay your writers. That's all you got to do.
That's all you have to do. Like I was talking about this with somebody. They're literally writers just want decent pay and benefits, and these guys are literally looking in their face and being like, "Nah, I don't think I can do that." Like,
AI, guys, AI.
Yeah.
I saw that somebody said that this is only going to be it's going to blow over, so for nobody not to do anything. Yeah, somebody was saying that's like, yeah, they'll just stop, and I was like, really? Like, no, like I hope they don't just stop and give in. Like, no, like
Well, people what they don't realize is those writers can write on animated shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, still, and the actors can act in voice acting like
yep.
roles, so they can still find a ways to make money. Meanwhile, these big studios are losing money every day. So,
which they should.
They all should.
Yeah.
So these execs make millions.
Yeah,
yeah.
Billions. They make billions,
multi-millions.
While the writer makes the writer
makes
one
show to make millions, and the writer makes probably enough just to live off of.
Yeah,
barely.
Yeah, especially if you have to be living in California,
yeah,
like 60K in California is not enough to live off of.
There's a story about the show The Bear. I don't know if y'all watch that.
No,
it's
you
a really good show. It's on Hulu. It's about like a chef and everything, but it's got really good reviews. It's won like awards and everything like that. And apparently, like they paid the writer so low that the writer had to start a GoFundMe just to like pay his rent.
I heard about
like
that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Which is crazy because this dude literally just made you so much money with this show. You know what I mean? Like he couldn't even afford to pay his bills.
That's the mess.
I'm just hoping this strike is successful. I'm really hoping it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm cool with no content. It frees up my time to do other stuff than watch TV.
Yeah. I'll read a book, work on a new skill. I mean, like no content is not end of the world for people for some people, man. Like
that's how everyone should treat it. So. Everyone's all pissed on Reddit that like all these movies are getting pushed back, and I'm just like, bro, like
touch some grass.
Yeah, right. Touch grass, kid.
Go outside.
That's all right. I have something called a backlog that I can, that's extra time for a backlog.
Or do your backlog or something. Like you're going to find something else to do. It's not the end of the world that you're not going to get your content. Like, come on.
So suggestion too, get into anime. Boom. Like, you have hundreds of hours worth of stuff to watch there.
That is true.
That's true.
Like,
there's some
Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 just came out, so
yeah.
I'm just saying this is like I don't know why people are like complaining a lot about indefinitely getting halted and stuff. I'm like, bro, it's not the end of the world. It's gonna come back. Just do something else. You got other things.
Let them make their money. Like let them get negotiate. Let them get what they want. Like
on the bright side, Mike won't have to watch a season 2 of Halo.
Season 2 of what?
Oh man.
On the topic, real quick. If anyone's a fan of Invincible, the
season 2's coming out.
Yeah, and there's like a 1 episode prequel on Amazon.
I need to watch that. I need to watch that.
That's a good show. Invincible's a good show.
It is one of the best animated like shows.
And J.K. Simmons being Omni-Man, great acting choice. Great voice choice.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys think of the Actually, never mind. I forgot.
I will say that the one animated show that I'm looking forward to is Castlevania Nocturne. I'm excited for it.
Have you watched Invincible?
I have not.
Bro, you gotta watch Invincible.
Yeah,
dude.
watch it, man. Like, watch it.
I do have a story. I do have a story about that.
It's an R-rated superhero show, man.
So either read Invincible or watch it.
So check it out. When it first came out, right? It showed up on Prime Video. So my wife is going through it and she decides to put it on. And then, like, she puts it on and she texts me. She's like, "Yeah, I just put on a show called Invincible for the kids. Have you seen this?" I was like,
Oh no!
I text her back fast. I was like, "Babe, this is not a kid-friendly show. You need to turn that on right now."
Oh yo, that's probably the worst.
Yo, that's so funny.
That's funny.
That's so
very
funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I already know the rest of the story right there, bro.
Yeah, right there.
That's
So,
all you gotta say.
but yeah, she just texted me laughing about it. But yeah, it was funny when that happened. I was like, yeah, I was like, they can't see that. But it's like, but anyways, going back to the topic, like Castlevania Nocturne, I'm excited for it. I guess the only fear I have is they're only using the characters. They're not using exactly what happened in the game in the TV show. So, like,
was the original show canon?
Well, it's not canon. It was heavily inspired by Castlevania 3, and I think that's it.
Okay.
But they kind of like they stood to it, except for towards the end. Towards the end, they kind of did their own thing. But in this one, did you guys watch the Castlevania? Like the first?
I watched the first 2 seasons.
Okay, so you haven't watched the ending of it?
No.
No. Okay, so I don't want to spoil it then. But yeah, it is different because for the time period that's supposed to happen in Castlevania, what they're basing this off of, which is what is it? Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night. It's not the same time period, so they're in a totally different time period, which is one thing. The other thing is that there's something that happens in the original Castlevania series that they have to figure out a way to somehow do, how can I put it, to revert back what they did in that series for this to be based off the game, if that makes sense. I'm trying not to give out spoilers, so but nonetheless, like, it stars Richter, who's everybody thinks is the strongest Belmont, because he's the one that learned how to do, I forget what they call it, like super items basically. So he's able to do like these mass like super moves, and they've considered him the strongest Belmont. Like, he was so strong that he's the only one that killed Dracula in the game. Now, he was so upset that he killed Dracula that he went and he forcefully brought Dracula back alive just so he can fight him again and kill him. So that's how strong he was. Like, he got upset at that, but
man's man, bro. Like, that is like the definition of like a man, bro. I'm not done with you, bro. I killed you, but I'm not done with you yet. Like,
I wasn't even going 100%. We need to do it again.
But that's like the storyline of him. It's like, man, like, he kills Dracula, he gets pissed that he kills him. He's like, no, I need you back alive because I have nothing else to do. But it looks like that's not what they're gonna do with this, because if you look at the trailer, he doesn't even act like that. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens when it comes to that. But yeah, that's all we have for today's podcast. Appreciate everybody that joined us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are trying to hit 500 subscribers. Also, we are working on an event that we're going to be doing pretty much on the first, I'll say the first Sunday of September. It's going to be awesome. We are doing a Mario Kart tournament where first, second, and third place will win a prize. First place will win a $20 gift card. Second place will win a $10 gift card. Third place will win a $5 gift card. And one random viewer will also win a $20 gift card. So it's going to be a fun way to, have to celebrate our 1 year, basically. It's going to be our 1 year anniversary of having the channel, the podcast, and everything there. Now, don't forget also to follow us over at Twitch. We stream typically to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So, follow over there does help out as well. Fan, where can I catch you at?
Yeah, you guys can catch me here, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Phaneckswhy.
What about you, Ash?
They didn't catch me at Ash Destroyum right now. Right now I'm chilling, playing FF16 on my roommate's PS5 right now. So it might be for a bit until I upload some new content. So there's that.
What do you think about FF16 so far?
I love it. It's pretty fun so far. I don't see how people are not liking the side quests, because they never overstay their welcome. All of them were voice acted, and some of the stories, like, I immediately get invested into like some of the characters in the side quests. So I have really no problems with that. But the point where I'm at right now is literally right after like the third time skip after a certain After when Clive gets a third, the third Eidolon, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I'm past that.
Yeah. So I'm at that part. So far, I'm
Yeah.
like, this is pretty damn good. I don't know how people are like getting like that's the biggest thing that people didn't like about the game was the side quests. So like I'm like,
It's not even a side quest.
It's not.
It's
I
not
don't.
even-
I don't think it's a side quest.
It's the
I think
filler.
It's yeah.
There is like between every big story moment, there's too much filler. Like
too much filler?
So-
Okay, so define too much filler because I feel like there wasn't like that much filler as I was like progressing through the game.
Everything's a filler.
Everything?
Like, think about it. So you do one thing, right? And then you go to back to the hideout, and then you're like, oh yeah, I need to go to Rosaria. But oh wait, you're not at that part. So or no, you haven't done that yet. I'm trying to think. Let me think of something else. Try to think. Okay, you have to go to, I forgot what that town's called, but it's like before you get to that town, you have to do all these little things in between there, and then you get to the town. And it's like, okay, and then once you get to the town, you go ahead and free them during the hideout, and then before you can continue, then you have to do all these other small things before you leave. Like play this, and then go back and play. Let's just say Final Fantasy VIII as an example, and see how streamlined the game is. It's like, in my opinion, I think Final Fantasy XVI was like a 10 or 15-hour game, but they had to pad it, or story, not game, but story, and they had to pad it, so they kept putting filler content in between each big story beat versus letting you go straight to each story beat.
I have to like play further in to see what you mean because I mean so far I don't feel like there was like too much filler in between the big events and stuff. So
Like
I don't know.
Like because where I'm at, I just beat Titan, and then I'm like, all right, sweet.
Oh,
No, the story's ramping up.
Oh boy.
It's like it's like the story's ramping up, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh yeah, hey, I'm trying to build a shop. I need you to get some logs for me. Like, I'm here like trying to, go ahead and change the world, and you want me to get logs? Like, no, you know, but you have to do the side quest, and then after that, you come back. You're like, oh yeah, I need
You
this to
can't
get
progress
done.
without the side quests.
They're not side quests, they're like filler quests. They're part of the story. So they show up as a main story quest, but they're annoying little things you have to do. Like I'm at
They're not fun.
they're
like,
not.
pretty much.
They
It brings you out of the immersion of the
exactly.
game, pretty much.
That's
So
dumb.
like where I'm at, like my next thing is I'm supposed to go to the town and I'm supposed to start fighting like, some of the big bads. But it's not letting me go there. I have to do all these little annoyances of, oh, I need to grab log. I need to go over here and find some fine leather for this guy. I have to go and do this before I can go and fight these guys where I need to actually go. And I'm like, come on, like that's my biggest annoyance with that. Again, if you go back to like another RPG, it's very streamlined. Like, yeah, they have side quests, but if you want to just go to the main story, it lets you go and it flows perfectly. There's no side quest unless it actually pertains to like the story. Or filler quests, I mean. It's like watching Naruto, man. Like
Yeah,
good. It's like watching Naruto. There's too much filler.
I haven't felt the Naruto-esque stuff yet in this game, so let's see what happens.
All right, Mike, where can they catch you at?
Oh wow, I've totally forgot we were signing up. We totally like went on a big tangent right there. Right here where I get these guys try to convince me that there's a Halo show for some reason. It's weird.
And as always, you can catch me here at the Random Encounter, where we do videos, YouTube videos on all the latest and greatest gaming news. And of course, we have our podcast here every Sunday. We'll see you guys later next time. Take care.